Alright, so I was at work all this week when my phone was blowing up saying Brew Alpha Boost had put out a new video. And now I finally can sit down and actually do something about it. Alright, so I am going to leave a timestamp down in the description for when this actually starts. And my head is crooked as hell. There we go. Okay, great. There we go. I'm going to leave a timestamp down in the description when I actually start the reaction. First, I want to do a small channel update. If you've noticed, there hasn't been anything put out the past couple of weeks. There's been a reason behind that. Everyone knows the reason behind that. If you don't, seriously, how do you not know? My work schedule, I work in the supply chain, so my work schedule has changed really drastically. Where normally I'd be getting home and, be putting out a video sometime a little bit after midnight, something like that. Well, now I'm at work during that time, and I'm doing that 6 days a week. I don't really mind that, but it does make it impossible for me to put out any kind of new videos or anything like that, because by the time I get home, everyone here is asleep. And, I'm kind of regretting the fact, because I was really enjoying doing the Idol series. I was really enjoying the breakdown of Death of Hope. I was enjoying all that stuff, and then all of a sudden this stuff started really like hitting close to home, and my city is pretty much it's going downhill. We're getting things delivered actually, so you might hear the doorbell ring in a few minutes. But yeah. Things are kind of hectic in my life. But I wanted to make time today to sit down and actually do a video, because I don't want it to be like where it just channel goes dark and nothing happens. I wanted to put something out to let you guys know what was going on. If you've been wondering why I haven't been making any videos, why I haven't continued some of the series that I had started on, that's why. It sucks. I hate it. There's really nothing I can do about it for right now. When things get back to normal, great. I found out that I'm gonna, with my income and stuff like that, I'm gonna be replacing this stupid ass camera. So I'm not gonna be struggling with that the entire time I'm trying to do a broadcast or anything like that. I'm also gonna get a microphone, hopefully. The camera's the more important thing for me, because yeah, if you've been a long time viewer of my channel, you know, God. But with that being said, I really do appreciate you guys spending your time with me. I appreciate it. I check all. I'll get home, and you know, I'll look at my feed, and I'll see the comments, and I'll reply to some of them if I can. And I like having fun with you guys, and when you make suggestions and things like that, I've enjoyed doing a lot of this stuff, and I want to continue doing that. But for right now, I'm not going to be able to put out any videos unless it's Sunday. So, and the longer form videos are out at this point. In fact, I'm very close to the time I should be going to sleep to then go into work. But that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started this. You guys have been blowing up my phone, letting me know Brew Alpha Boost to put out a new one. And I'm already looking at it, and I'm not going to be disappointed in this. Top 20 Primarchs. 20. Yeah, the Emperor did make 20. But we only know about 18. So, I already know this is going to be heretical as hell. Here we go.
Greetings, shield companies. This is me on my brief respite from the throne room.
Oh, by the way, something you guys should know. This is my clip jam. Now, on this clip jam, I have every Horace Heresy novel that I own at this point, which is about 37 books. I also have every podcast that these guys have put out. Every single one. And the question and answer segments as well. And if I need to laugh, this is the kind of stuff that I listen to. And I have legitimately held off on putting this on this because I wanted it to be with you guys first. So here we go. I'm going to shut up and just let this go.
I am currently in the process of calculating the integrity of the blood pumps, and I thought it would be as good a time as any, excepting all other times ever, to record a list of my top favorite Primarchs. Yeah, that's good. From worst to greatest. Now, please, I know you and the emissaries might try and quote-unquote fact-check me into one of the dark cells, but please, you keep your judgment as you do your figure concealed. This is not but my opinion, churl. I do not tout it as our Emperor's objective truth. As correct as it in fact is. So, here we go. Number 20, skip. Number 19, skip. Number 18, Conrad Curse of the Night Haunter. Unwashed, toxic, ghoulish, scrawny for a Primarch, and no! Ew! Absolute ew! Scrawny and Primarch are words that should be kept as far and away as a novel series worth of text from each other at all times, much less be used within the very same sentence. And yet Conrad curses this reality by making this description apt. Hate. As far as I have heard, he was also killed by a normal, which... that's like a normal dying to worms. It could certainly occur, but it is so earth-shatteringly embarrassing, it can simply not be spoken of.
Conrad Curse is literally my favorite Primarch of all the ones that turn traitor.
That being said, I am glad he is dead, for he was a spiteful bastard
Yes, he
who
was.
would probably have my eyes turned to soup if ever he heard this.
No, he wouldn't.
Number 17.
Far worse.
So, I am someone who puts high stock in hygiene. It is technically one of my greatest charges as caretaker. I am the one who has to make sure that our Emperor, stasis-bound as he is kept sterile, without corruption, within and without.
Oh, that's just disturbing.
So with this in mind, the very idea of Mortarion causes me great discomfort. If our Emperor was ever to have Mortarion return to Terra, which I pray does not happen, I will fight to have him pressure washed with Titan-grade cleaning agents and burning promethium before even being allowed in the system. Every night, I hug my sponge collection in sheer dread at the thought that this return could become a reality. Number 16, Perturabo. Yes, I am aware. Casting Perturabo in the ditch and shitting on him is exactly what everyone, including his entire family, has done since the beginning of time. He is not exactly a popular pick.
That is not inaccurate.
In fact, if every other Primarch are the picks of the litter, he'd probably be the litter. That was pretty good. You know, litter as in trash, just garbage. And that is exactly the reason behind me putting him this low on the list. And yes, indeed, everyone treats him like garbage, but he also acts like garbage, so justified? There is some kind of a causality dilemma here, though. Like, is he treated like garbage because he is garbage? Or is he garbage because he is treated like garbage?
That's overthinking it.
Is he the chicken or the egg? Some sort of really bitter, like childishly bitter chicken egg hybrid thing. I don't know, but garbage is garbage, and I'd prefer it thrown in the compactor. Number 15, Alfarius Omegon.
Why?
I know some enjoy the mysterious type, but honestly, bit too much this one. These ones, whatever. I'm not much for charging into the fray without thought.
And just one thing. I love the concept of the Alpha Legion, but I really hate some of the novels they're in because they're either Batman on fucking steroids, they're either written so goddamn well or so fucking dumb. Just so. In one book, they're written like impossibly good. And then another book that comes out, they're essentially Dick Dastardly from Wacky Racers. It's that much of a difference.
I wish to assess my targets before engaging as much as any of the 10,000. Know where I have them, my targets. With this context in mind, Alfarius and or Omegon, even speaking to them is like... I was going to say laying oneself bare. That is mildly funny. Basically, it'd be too vague as to whether or not he'd enjoy your presence,
or
if he's just evaluating your skin in case he needs it.
God, I hate this
Not
game.
a fan. Number 14, Corvus Corax. Right, so yeah, I am aware placing a loyalist Primarch this high or low on the list is quite controversial, and you may call me traitorous for reasons intentionally designed to be impossible to argue against, but look, fuck you! I do not condone the actions or personages of any traitor Primarch that comes after this one. I am just judging these Primarchs by my tastes. Okay, so yeah, Corvus Corax. I'm sorry, it's like Conrad Curse, but better, which sucks, because Conrad Curse is the worst, and it is quite hard to build oneself a ladder out of the abyssal shadow cast by the Spite Haunter. Corax is alive, however, and heading towards Terra right now. To him I say, there is still time to build that ladder. And by build that ladder, I mean building that build. And please, get a less slimy looking haircut. Those bangs are that of the sewer. Number 13, Lehman Russ. I know. He's popular. He's popular. Especially with those giddy for rustic brutality. And I will give him his due credit. He is built. He is a woven wonder when engaged up close. But there's just so much hair. So much hair. It's everywhere. One can barely get a glimpse of that physique. It sits like a fir tree plantation. I don't want to have to check my tactical display to know my location when in this man's immediate vicinity. I'm sorry. I will consider bumping him up if he just consider attaining a brush cutter. I want to eat, not floss. Number 12, Magnus the Red.
What?
Preemptive apologies goes out to my shield brother, who's a total Magnusite, but Magnus is what we in the business call a humongous nerd. Okay, so, to be entirely fair, Magnus has some nice sides. He is steadfast in his beliefs. He seems to always be trying his best, and not only is he quite bulbous, but said bulbousness is entirely accommodating due to his malleable presence in the material. All extremely interesting, and I would not blame anyone for buying into those selling points. I'm just not too into self-pity and like books. We don't match, that's all I'm trying to say. Number 11, Vulcan.
I can see.
Everyone loves Vulcan. His empathy is like an endless ocean.
Yes.
His moral character is his all.
Yes.
But listen, I am a custodian. I am a tool.
Yes, you are.
And I don't know about you, but I am perfectly aware of and accepting of that. With this, I do not believe I have the obligation.
The guy who does this has the best comedic timing, period. This whole fucking series.
Nor perhaps even the ability to have the same level of empathy for the common folk of the Imperium as the likes of Vulcan. I do not care for the normals.
No shit.
The citizenry of the Imperium. It is not my job to care. And so it is, I do not care for Vulcan. For we have nothing in common.
The best that this guy's ever done was when he was talking about bombing the normals.
Also, his armor is green, and that's like my least favorite color. Number 10, Horus. Okay, so you might be surprised that the great betrayer, the one responsible for the Emperor's entombment, the one who...
Okay, I just realized something. He's on number 10 right now, and he's just now mentioning Horus. And Horus is just now being mentioned. And we still haven't gotten into one of the other ones. Oh boy.
raised our Imperium to the ground and lit a slowly spreading fire in its place, got so high on the list. And yes, that is quite inappropriate. But have you seen how fucking massive he is? Okay, that's it. Number 9, Lorgar. Oh, okay, so
There he is.
you might be surprised that the first heretic, the apostle of primordial evil, the vile snake that helped plant the seeds of the Imperium's downfall, made it so high on the list. And in addition, he's both extremely small and weak for a Primarch. He's very preachy, he's condescending, he has intense daddy issues,
Yes.
and why is he so high on this list? Actually, yeah. I'm sorry. This is
You
a
should
mistake.
be.
My apologies.
You should be.
Lorgar is number 20. Actually, I accidentally traded place between Primarch 14 and 19. The latter of which is significantly more respectable and substantially sized. Sorry, huge mistake. Just
What?
like Lorgar.
Yes.
Number 8, Angron. Angron. He is
Bad.
quite violent in an extremely over-the-top manner.
That's a little bit
It's
understatement.
not something I would usually go for, no. Honestly, it perturbs me slightly, and Being in his presence would more than likely drive me to drink. Promethium, that is. But somewhere deep within, I feel like I can, at times, relate to Ankaron.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like
Yeah, we know that.
maybe I could fix him. His power and his temper could be honed like an axe upon a grindstone, and that grindstone could be me. I feel like beneath that rugged, bloodied exterior, there is untapped potential as a very effective masseur. Number 7.
Okay. That was very much uncalled for.
Fulgrim. Justifying putting Fulgrim this high is incredibly hard because he is definitely not my type in most regards. He is quite thin and petite, Primarch way. He is all about sharp angles and sleek forms, long and straight, all pump and no substance. It's just not my thing.
Guys, hear that dog? Now they're losing his mind. Ooh, hold on a second. I'm actually gonna have to edit this because my niece is here. I'll be back in a second. Alright. Here we
Threat of being unmade with even a thought of doing it. Absolutely nothing at all to him, not a thing. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't deal with that. Moving on. Number 4, Ferrus Manus. Manus is strong, steadfast. Sure, he might not be the most corporeally inviting of the Primarchs, but the rigidness of his ideals to improve humanity makes him, in my mind, so disgustingly handsome. Yeah, handsome. Hands, because iron hands.
That's so bad.
Speaking of his actual, literal iron hands, love that for him. That gives him an edge above all other Primarchs, as far as I'm concerned, if stripped to bare essentials. 18 Primarchs in the showers on Terra. Ferrus Manus is choking the shit out of them. Oh, good. Okay, number 3. Lion L. Johnson. The Lion, as a concept and as an aesthetic, resonate with me far, far more than the Lion does as a person.
I understand that.
But these things, the aesthetic, the concept, they resonate with me so incredibly hard, they make my gullet vibrate. Gallant, valorous, like someone out of an ancient tale. His being, or the idea of this being, exudes chivalry, and it makes me wish to rip apart the chainmail I desperately wish I was clad in. Had Caliban yet existed, I wish I could have gone there. On a journey alongside the Lion, 2 steeds, and a normalite bard in tow, whom we could torment for his inadequacies. Number 2, Rogel Dawn. So this is a slight bit awkward.
Number
I've
1
had the
is
pleasure of
Robotank.
hanging out with Dorn for a good while now. He's been present in the palace, ever guarding his father's remains, much like the rest of us. And yes, he is quite forthright. To the point where he could just as well stab you to death on a whim if he honestly thought you were a flaw in the structural integrity of the palace. But that is also what I adore about him. He knows when he is right. He knows when he is wrong, and he will stand by the truth, no matter where it may lead. He is a fortress that cannot be beset.
I hear Perturabo screaming.
And I would love to find a life within that fortress.
You do you,
Okay,
baby.
number one.
Gilliman.
Boozy Gilliman. Okay, first of all, fuck you! I know how the sayings go. I know the jokes. I know the everlasting bandwagon that is ridiculing Boozy Gilliman and his children. I know it all. I've heard it all. It is a common thing within our ranks. But I am better than that. I am immune to your lampooning. I see Gilliman for what he truly is. A man with a godlike jawline. And a beautiful boy who wishes to do his best by our Imperium. He is honorable, he is just, he is noble, and he is self-aware. Which is exactly what you wish to imply he is not. I know better. I know he is what the Imperium needs. And when he returns, and he will, I am going to be a proponent of His Majesty, as he once more becomes the Lord Commander of the Imperium, and aids our Emperor in turning this morass of incompetence back into a tidier morass that is not on fire. And that is it for my favorite Primarchs. If you have your own personal favorites list, then please do not mention it in the vicinity of our Emperor, lest you wish to be pounded into the ground in the worst possible manner. Okay, that's it. Bye!
Okay. So that was Wamuudes Warlogs. His top 20 Primarchs. I got what I expected. Like and subscribe. This took a lot longer than I actually wanted it to, and I'm about an hour going to late going to bed at this point. But I'll see you guys next Sunday. Until then, y'all have a good week.